Archetypes have not received support in quite some time. Time to keep an eye. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. So we'll be starting off over here with Prophecy. I think that this is probably the biggest thing on this list because we currently have the impending lore developing right now with the whole Magistus manga. Because Prophecy actually has a huge tie-in to this out here. You kind of get the chance to see, you know, how you can do this. But Prophecy, you know, you have the world of Crowley, Alistair, you know, High Priestess. But spellbooks, they've been so far off the rails. They've not gotten support in years. Alright, they just kind of forgot about this lore. They tossed it off to the side. I think we're at a point right now that you're going to see the return back to Prophecy here pretty soon. So the whole point of this video is to go, hey, you know, these archetypes have not had support in years. These are the most logical things that we could see out here receiving said power-ups so that you can kind of keep an eye on these and make your decisions. Kaijus. Now this is always going to be something very interesting because like the Kaijus, you know, like they're very loosely inspired by Godzilla and also, you know, oversized creatures, blah, 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 boss monsters that you could suddenly spawn on top of your opponent's field. But they tried to do something with the Kaijus and actually give them effects. Competitive application for the game, unfortunately, had different tales for what they wanted to try to do with these. You know, Gamma Seal was like infinite negates and things like that. But the TCG and the OCG have long since gone past the Kaijus, but they've not been revisited. And it's actually kind of sad to see because the Kaijus, they were always just big monsters. We never got anything like relatively small to use with these. You know, there was Interrupted Kaiju Slumber was a free destroy everything on the field, special summon some Kaijus from the deck. But that was it. We never, it's kind of sad actually because there was some cool application with that. And it all just kind of fell to the wayside. Stick Chair or in the Star Serifs? Well, Star Serifs should actually get support because, I mean, don't we have a number monster for this? If I absolutely recall. For this, Star Serif also had some of the coolest card design in the game for ye old Stick Chair. Maybe I'm thinking of another thing that had numbers out here. No, we did have support. Yeah, it was like number C10 something that you could do with this. Good old Star Serif themselves. Stick Chair was always the thing, though, that made me excited for this. But every other archetype's kind of gotten support out here, so I'm very surprised to see, you know, we skipped over this come the Light Duelist pack, which was kind of crazy. You know, Deltaros and friends were kind of nice support cards as well, but that was it. That was your Star Serif. Like, I forget, I think Konami looked at the Star Serif stuff and was like, nah, get rid of it. They're not good. Sad day, actually. But this likely will get support. Cyber Angels. Now, Cyber Angels did get a lot of support. Don't get me wrong. Like, they pumped this up. They did a lot of work. But not even, like, between, like, EDA 10, everything that we got in that one duels pack. And it is kind of crazy to think about out here, because I think more people want more Cyber Angel support. Problem was when they released the Cyber Angel support, it wasn't anywhere near enough. I feel like the last wave of Cyber Angel support just kind of blue-balled a lot of the community. It was like, hey, here's some really cool cards, you know, you can do some incredibly good stuff with this. But then it was just, it wasn't anything too crazy to mess around with the game and try to, you know, shift things around and give the deck more playtime. You know, for a deck that's paywalled behind rituals, you know, Ben 10's the only thing that sees play, and it's because it's a searcher. All right, at least Ben 10 is seeing some sort of competitive play out here, even if it isn't necessarily being used at the best light. Fortune Ladies. I think Fortune Lady Every, the Synchro, was like the last real thing that we got out here for Fortune Ladies. Now, unfortunately, for Fortune Ladies, they are from such a bygone, forgotten era in this game that if you have to do so much to try to power those cards up from that era, you just kind of have to reconstruct the entire archetype, I feel like, at this point. You know, you just, it's not even worth it at that point, actually. You just kind of let these old cards sit in their tier and then allow people to decide if they want to play their more casual, fun side of things. And that's fine. You know, you can have fun with the older tier decks that exist out here, for sure. But if you're looking at all this and you're like, ah, yeah, like I'll be fine. No, you're really not. Like, it's actually kind of sad just to see the current state that this deck has kind of been reduced to. Gradles! Now this one! Gradles ever get more than one wave of support? Gradles were one of the coolest designs, I think, in the game. Because you had 3 monsters that all could be fundamentally destroyed, basically equip onto the opponent's cards and jack their stuff. Like, that was incredibly cool. Gradle Dragon, the Synchro, has actually seen some niche play these past days, because when you're water synchro locked out here, you're water locked, well, Gradle just kind of looks like that incredibly cool card that you want to access, be able to do things. Now, Gradle, long since, poor synchro has actually gone up in price. There's been some pretty interesting jumps in terms of the value for what you can do with that, and that's kind of impressive, actually, how much we've seen the Gradle stuff, just the synchro, bumping up in price across the board. Okay. Frogs. Now, you've probably forgotten this, but like every once in a while, you'll see a little frog card get printed, maybe inside of an archetype or something. Actually, no, I don't think any frogs have been printed in a long time. So it's kind of funny, actually, because frogs themselves function as an archetype. But then, you can print a frog card inside of another archetype. But unfortunately, that frog card also doubles as a frog card for what it is. Now, Konami's done a lot of work for the early mistakes that frogs kind of made. Frog FTK, substitute existing, has definitely made it hard to print new frog cards out here, which is really sad, actually, because I love the frog stuff. I think it's such a cool idea of what they were able to do. We had a whole FTK for these guys, but we'll never get that level of love again for frogs, because Ronin, Toad, and Dupe Frog and substitute the Gang of 3. Nope. Hazy Flame. Now, this is a personal favorite of mine. I don't ever think Hazy Flame ever truly got a second wave of support. I kind of feel like we were one and donezo out here, and we never really got more to it. And it's actually really sad, because Hazy Flame, for a rank 6 deck, has a lot to be desired still for it. And I don't know why we've never had another round of good stuff for this deck. I feel like Konami was very afraid for Hazy Flames, which I don't know why. Like, you're going to have to print more than 2 cards if you want to bring Hazy Flame up to the year 2024, which is also very interesting, because we just came off of the Year of Fire. Where was my Hazy Flame support? Was it so hard to make more Hazy Flame support out here that we're just like, oh yeah, by the way, like, we don't need this. There's no real point to considering, in addition to this. I don't know. I found that kind of interesting, to say the least. So, good one, Konami. And then we have Valkyrie. Now, this is also another fan favorite of mine. Double Battle Phase the deck. The fact that you are able to go through, do the double battle phase with this, put your Valkyries on the field. I want more Valkyrie support. I think everybody would be happy to have more Valkyrie support, but I'm afraid that Konami's going to look at this and go, if we're printing more Valkyrie support, it just means that the deck has more potential to be more broken. So if we don't technically print more Valkyrie support, we don't have to do anything about the existing card pool, and we're not technically making more problems, and thus we don't have to do anything. That is, unfortunately, a logical thing. I get where they're coming from on that idea, and that is fair. I just want more so that I can actually make Valkyries look fun, Actually playing the game, actually getting the chance to see what this deck can do. I think a lot of people would love to have that. And then we have Xabber. Xabber has long since... I'm actually surprised up to this point. Xabber's had the TCG vote. They were second place, right behind Inzectors. And everybody was super excited to try to get a new Xabber card. And it went second place, and that was it. That was the last real talks about Xabbers. And I don't know why Xabbers have not gotten new support. I mean, we're back in the dual terminal theme, for sure. We're getting power-ups and things like that, but you need to do more. Xabbers deserve that power-up. I guess Gothams is a scary card. You can't really justify printing, more hand rip options, because that does kind of cross into the realm of scary, but yeah. So these are things I'd keep an eye on overall, because more than likely, they're going to get support at some point, and you're going to be caught with your pants down and be like, huh, I didn't think about this. At least now, you have the vision to see what's coming. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.